Hello, good morning all. In last class, we have completed the first chapter of your third module, that is business continuity, in which we have seen what is meant by business continuity, how business continuity is related with information availability, and how to calculate information availability. After that, we have seen the different phases of business continuity. Now, the second chapter of your third module is a backup and a recovery. Today, we are going to start with this new chapter, that is backup and recovery. Just a second. Okay, this is the second chapter of your third module. Now, in this chapter, we are going to discuss about what is backup and what is recovery, the different considerations while choosing backup and recovery methods, and then we are going to describe how backup and recovery operations work, describe the backup topologies, then we are going to discuss different backup technologies. These are all things we are going to discuss in this chapter. Now let us start with what is meant by a backup. As you know, backup is nothing but taking one extra copy of the data that can be used for restoring whenever any data failure or any disaster occurs. Now this is a disaster recovery technique where the backup of an data is going to be taken. That is nothing but we are going to take an additional copy of data that can be used for restoring and recovery process, and the backup copy is only used when the primary copy is lost or corrupted. Until that point, you are not going to use this backup copy. Whenever the primary copy is lost or it is corrupted, at that time only you are going to use this backup copy of your data. Now the backup copy can be created by using two different ways. One is called as simple copying of the data. There can be one or more copies, means you are just copying the data and you are placing that copy as a backup copy. Then the second way is by the second way is by taking a mirrored data. That is nothing but the copy is always updated with the whatever is written to the primary copy. Means if you make any changes to the primary copy, the same changes are going to be updated in mirroring data. Now to understand these two types of backup, let us take an example of uh, a photo of yours as well as your mirror copy. Means when you look at mirror, whatever the updates you make, all updates are going to be visible in the mirror, but in photo it is a static. Means whatever you have saved now, same data is going to be there, but in mirrored copy, whatever you update, whatever you copy also. This is the difference between simple copying data and mirrored data. For simple copying data, you can take an example of photograph, and for mirroring data, you can just use a mirror image. Means you are looking at a mirror. Whatever the changes you make, the same changes are going to be displayed in the mirror. This is about what is backup and how we can take a backup of a particular data. Next, we are going to discuss uh, what backup actually uh, the business is. They are going to take that backup because to enable its recovery in case of potential loss, and the second reason is for to comply with the regulatory requirements. As per the regulatory requirements, each business should have the data backup for at least 5 years, and the main purposes of backup are described here. These are the three main purposes of taking backup. The first one is disaster recovery, that is in case of disaster or in case of loss of data, we are going to restore the production data to an operational state after the disaster. Then the second purpose is operational, that is restore the data in the event of data loss or logical corruption that may occur during the routing process. Means while performing a routing process, if any data loss occurs or if any logical corruption or any code mismatch occurs, in that case you need to restore the data in the event of this data loss. This is called as operational purpose. And the third one is archival, means for storing the data, preserve the transaction records such as email and other business work products for regulatory compliance. As I told you, according to the regulatory compliance, you should have the data of all your transactions emails for a business of up to 5 years. Hence, this is the another purpose of the backup. These are the three major purposes of taking a backup. That is disaster recovery, operational, and archival. Just a second. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about backup and recovery considerations. Now, what we need to consider while taking the backup and while recovering the data from the backup copy. Now, customer business needs to determine all these points to take a backup or to recover from the disaster. Now, the first point is what are the restore requirements? That is RPO and RTO. These two things we have studied in previous. That is, what is this RPO and RTO? RPO is the amount of data loss a business can sustain, and RTO is nothing but amount of downtime the business can sustain. These are the two factors we need to consider while taking the backup: amount of downtime a business can sustain and amount of data loss a business can sustain. After that, where and when will the restore occur, that we need to decide. Then what are the most frequent restore requests, which data needs to be backed up, how frequently should data be backed up, means how frequently you should take a backup, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. All these things you need to determine. How long will it take to back up the data, means how much time it will take to take a backup. Then how many copies to create, how many copies of backup data have to be created, how long to return the backup copies. Okay, all these factors we need to consider while taking a backup or while recovering the backup copy. The customer business needs to determine all these things. Next, along with that, there are some other considerations which we need to consider while taking the backup. That is location, where we are going to take the backup, on heterogeneous platform, whether you are using the homogeneous platform or you are using heterogeneous platform. That we need to decide where you are going to take the backup, either on the local system or on the remote system. These all should be considered. Then number and size of files. Hence, to take a backup, we are going to determine the number and size of each backup file. And here we are going to consider the compression ratio, because for example 10 files of 1 MB size versus 10,000 files of 1 KB size. This is you have to choose any one of these. You want whether you want to make 10 files of 1 MB size or 10,000 files of 1 KB. The size is same, but number of files are going to vary and the size of each file is going to vary. Like this, you need to consider the number and size of files. If you choose the more number of files, it is easy for compression. The compression ratio is going to be increased. These all are the considerations which should look at while taking the backup of your data. Then the next thing is backup granularity. Now the backup granularity, just a second. Now the backup granularity is nothing but the time after which you are going to take a backup, or amount of data that is going to be backed up. Now there are three different types of backup granularity. Full backup, second one is cumulative backup, and third one is incremental backup. Now the backup granularity is nothing but amount of data backup which is going to be taken out. Now in full backup, you are taking the full data's backup. You are taking the full data's backup on a fixed time. Now you can see in this first figure, on every Sunday you are taking a backup of full data. This full data is copied to backup copy on every Sunday. This is called as full backup. Second one is called as cumulative or differential backup. In cumulative or differential backup, we are going to take a backup of only previous day. You have the backup of Sunday. On Monday, whatever the activities you do, that only that data's backup you are going to take. On Tuesday, you are going to add the Tuesday data. On Wednesday, Wednesday's data. On Thursday, Thursday's data. On Friday, Fridays. On Saturday, Saturday. On Sunday again, it will be full. This is how the cumulative or differential backup is going to work. Now, what is the difference between full backup and cumulative backup? Okay, for example, on every Sunday you are going to take a backup. If a system fails on a Saturday, if your system fails on a Saturday, you are going to lose the data from Monday to Saturday because it is not backed up. You have taken the backup on Sunday. On the next Saturday, the system has failed. Means you have lost the data of Monday to Saturday. That's why the full backup is not reliable. Where in cumulative backup you are going to take a backup on every day, and that is going to be added to your backup copy. Hence, if the system fails on Saturday, you have the data backup up to Friday. Only 1 day's backup, 1 day's data you are going to lose. This is called as cumulative backup. And in incremental backup, we are going to just take that we're just going to take the backup of the same day only. We're going to take the backup of same day and we are going to add it to the previous backup. This is called as incremental backup, which is similar to your cumulative backup. Just difference is that you are going to take a backup and you are going to add it to the previous, but here you are going to save only previous day's backup. This is incremental backup. Now next is restoring from, how the restoring from incremental backup occurs. Now for example, in full backup, if you have 3 files, on every Monday you are going to, this is full backup which is taken on Monday. On Tuesday you have taken a backup of file 4 which is created on Tuesday. On Wednesday updated the file 3. The same thing is. Then on Thursday you have taken the backup of file 5. Then on, if the system fails, and then this full copy of the data is taken and every increment of that backup is going to be added. I'm going to add it, this one and this one. This is how the incremental backup works. But in case of cumulative, we are going to add the data which is updated to the previous copy. Means here in this backup only you are going to add the incremental backup. In full backup you are going to you are going to add the updated file 4, file 3, then file 5 to the full backup only. That was called as cumulative. But in incremental, each day's separate backup is going to be taken, and in recovery process, how this is recorded, the one copy of full backup and all the incremental backups are added to produce the data which is lost. Now the key features of this incremental backups are, files that have changed since the last backup are only backed up. Not all the files, only the files which are changed. Only those files are going to be backed up. Hence we are going to have fewer amount of files to be backed up. Therefore faster backup and less storage space is required. And longer restore because last full and all subsequent incremental backup must be applied. Means the restore operation is going to take more time because you need to take out the last full backup and all the incremental backups to generate the production data. This is how the incremental backup works. How the cumulative backup works. Now you have taken a full backup on Monday, then on Tuesday it is a cumulative backup, that is file 4 is taken, and on Wednesday both files are going to be stored into a backup, this one and this one, and Thursday 3 files 4 5 6, and in case of restore operation the backup copy is taken and only the last cumulative copy is going to be taken. This is how the cumulative backup works. And the key features are more files to be backed up, therefore it takes more time to back up and uses more storage space, because in this backup you have backed up 3 files 4 5 6, and it is going to take more time to back up as well as to more storage spaces it is going to take, and much faster restore because only you have to take the last backup and last cumulative backup which are used to which are applied to generate your production data. This is how the restoring for cumulative backup occurs. The next thing is the different backup methods which can be used for taking the backup. The first one is code backup, which is called as offline backup, hot or online backup, open file backup. There are two different ways for taking open file backup, that is retry and open file agents. Then point in time replica, backup file metadata for consistency, bare metal recovery. These are the different backup methods. Those we are going to discuss now, the different backup methods and how those methods are going to work. After that, the backup architecture and processes, and then we are going to see how the backup process works and how the restore process works. Then we are going to discuss about okay, about backup methods we'll see later. First we'll see how the backup works, then we'll go for backup methods. Now how the backup operation works: assume that these are your application servers and backup clients, and these are the backup server, this is storage node, and this is your backup device. Now the first step, the start of the scheduled backup process. You are going to start the scheduled backup on backup server, and then backup server retrieves the backup related information from backup catalog. Is going to the backup catalog is present in the backup server only. The backup server is going to retrieve that backup catalog for collecting the backup related information. Then backup server instructs the storage node to load the backup media in backup device. This backup server is going to instruct the storage node to load the backup media in backup device. And then the backup server instructs backup client to send its metadata to the backup server and data to be backed up to the storage node. After that, the backup client is going to send the data to the storage node. Then the storage node is going to send the data to the backup device. And then after that, the storage node sends the media information to backup server to indicate that the backup process is completed. This is how the backup operation is going to take place. Shruti, how many times you are leaving the meeting? Okay. The next operation is, after taking a backup, how the restore operation is going to take place. Now the first type of restore operation is backup server scans the backup catalog to identify the data to be restored and the client that will receive the data, means which client has made the request for the restore and what data has to be restored. For that, it is going to scan the backup catalog to identify this data and which client wants that data. After that, the backup server instructs the storage node to load the backup media in the backup device, and then the data is then read and sent back to the client. The data is going to be read from the backup device and the same data is going to be sent to the client, and then the server node storage node is going to send a restore metadata to backup server. So that backup server is going to update its catalog, and this is how the restore operation is going to take place. Okay, remaining things we'll discuss in next class.